We're going to get started on your back this evening. Make sure you can, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be coming in and out of posture with you all. So just, listen carefully to my cues. Of course, do what feels right for you in your practice. If there's some extra movement you need and I'm not offering it, please feel free to take that time and do it for yourself. Listen carefully to my cues. We're probably not even standing up today. This is going to be a nice, gentle opening flow. So let's get started. And maybe starting on your back, but if there's some other position you prefer to start in, please feel free to start in that way. Child's pose, if you want to start in supine Baddha Konasana, if you want to bring the soles of your feet together and start in that way, you can do that. Take time to find your comfortable position. Allow your eyes to close if that feels safe for you. And then just start to drop down now. Start to drop down into your breath, into the sensations of your body. Just start to notice your own experience. No need to judge anything. We're here just to be aware. And then gradually start to notice your breath a little bit more. Take a deep, full breath in from the crown of the head all the way through the entire body, and then part the lips, exhale, let that flow from you. Let's do that again. Inhale, breathe in through the soles of your feet this time. Draw that breath up the length of your body, all the way up into your chest, your throat, crown of your head, and then part the lips, exhale. And with that, let go other times and other places. Start to find this moment, and then the next, and then the next. Go in and in. Be the space between the cells, the vast resounding silence in which spirit dwells. Be sugar dissolving on the tongue of life. Dive in and in as deep as you can dive. Be infinite, ecstatic truth. Be love conceived and born in union. Be exactly what you seek, the beloved, singing yes, tasting yes, embracing yes, until there is only essence, the all of the everything, expressing as you, through you. Go in and turn away from nothing that you find. Allow your awareness to drop into your heart space. Notice your sankalpa. What brings you to your mat for practice today? And then we're going to start to bring some gentle movement into your experience. So just lay flat for another moment. And then mindfully reach the arms up and overhead. Let the arms come all the way to the earth. Let them soften and get heavy. And then start to stretch, maybe interlacing the fingers if that works for you, whatever works. But start to reach back with the arms, reach forward with the legs. Draw the belly in to support the low back. Reach, reach, reach. And then exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Find Apanasana. Maybe a little rock here side to side. And then get big again, reach the arms back, reach the legs forward, but then this time let them soften and come all the way to the earth. So we're gonna come into banana pose. So we'll start on the left side, on the right side rather. So just reach your right leg out to the right, just as far as it happens to go. And then the left leg will follow, but you're gonna keep the back of your left hip down. So you're not lifting the hips at all. You're finding a little bit more space in the side of your left hip. And then drawing your belly in, keeping that nice and firm, you're going to start to bring your shoulders over to the right as well, arms as well, making the shape of a banana here with the body. Okay, so you have the option of staying right here. If you feel like you'd like a little bit more lengthening, you have the option of hooking your left ankle over your right, or potentially even your right over your left, depending on what feels right. Similarly, you can stack your left hand on top of your right or your right hand on top of your left. Whichever position you decide to take, let the left side of the body be heavy onto the mat and start to breathe into that side body on the left side. Imagine you can see the space coming between the ribs as you breathe in, let them fan away from each other. As you exhale, feel them soften. Notice this lengthening from the tips of your toes on that left foot all the way up through the left fingertips. Heavy, heavy, heavy left side. And then coming out the way we came in. So if you stack the hands or the ankles, unstack. And then slide your legs back into the center. Bring your shoulders back into the center. Take a moment here. Just lay, get heavy here on the mat. Notice if your left side feels a little longer than the right side. And then we're going to move over to the left now. So kick that left leg over to the left as far as it'll go. And then let the right leg chase that, keeping the right hip down, the right hip heavy. And then the shoulders start to move over to the left side. Maybe you stack the palms, maybe you stack the ankles. Decide what works for you on this side. It'll be a little different. And then begin to watch the breath. Notice how it creates space and also creates a sense of feeling grounded to the earth. And one more deep full breath in. Feel those ribs getting a little bit wider. Exhale and feel everything get a little heavier onto the earth. And then when you're ready, if you crossed anything, uncross the legs and the arms. Bring the legs to the center, bring the arms to the center. Take one nice long stretch. Ooh, do you feel a little longer on both sides? And then exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. Funny Apanasana here, gentle squeeze. Maybe take behind the thighs, flex the feet. As you breathe in, let your belly get big. Move the thighs away from you. And then as you exhale, squeeze them in again. Keep moving. Inhale and float the thighs away. Exhale, squeeze in a little tighter. Keep the backs of the shoulders down, throat soft. Inhale one more time, nice and big belly. Exhale, squeeze in, get a little tighter here. Maybe take the hands in front of the knees if that works for you. If you're feeling called to squeeze up, bringing the forehead towards the knees, if that feels like the right thing, do that. And then slowly come on down and place your feet down onto the mat. Knees are bent, arms alongside body. We'll start on that left side. So hug your left knee in towards you. Interlace the fingers behind the thigh or in front of the calf and give it a nice squeeze. If you have a strap or a belt or something handy, you might take it now and loop it around your foot as you stretch the leg straight up. If you don't have a strap, then you can just interlace the fingers behind the thigh. Okay, we want the leg to be straight here. So it's early in practice. So if you can't quite get your leg straight with your knee, with your hip and knee and ankle alignment, you can kick it forward slightly. You can also use your strap or have a slight bend to the knee, whatever works for you. But start to flex your foot, press the heel up, pull your belly in, and then soften and release that a little bit, bend the knee. And then reach it up again, reach out through the heel, flex that foot, hug muscle to bones, and then soften. Good, do that again. Inhale and reach up. Keep the backs of the shoulders down, neck nice and long. Exhale and soften. Good, one more time, reach it up, nice and long. Press your hand, start to really firm your kneecap, firm your quads, so you're starting to wake up the hamstring a bit. And then rebend that knee, place your foot on the mat. We'll switch sides. Hug the right knee in this time. Flex your foot. Give it a nice squeeze as you reach it up. As you pull it in. Good, keep your shoulders soft. Good, and then take whatever position you did on the first side as you straighten out through that right leg this time. Pressing out through the heel, firming firming the kneecap. And then soften that, bend the knee slightly. And then straighten it out again, flex the foot, press out, and then soften. Good, keep going, reach out, and then rebend. Good, last time, reach it up. Good, flex the foot, find your fullest expression. Maybe this is as the straightest your leg has been so far. Good, and then place it back down on the mat. Bend the knee, step your foot down. Good. So just bringing a little bit of heat into our experience. We're going to reach up now again through that left leg. Good. Now option to keep your right knee bent, or you can straighten the right leg. Toes point straight up. Pelvis is neutral. Press the back of the pelvis down ever so slightly to imprint a little bit onto the mat. Good. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, just stretch that left leg forward and down. And then inhale, pull the belly in, reach it up. And then exhale, pull it down. Inhale, reach it up. And then reach it down and away. Good, lift it up. And then down and away. Good, we'll do 3 more. Stay right here, or potentially you could bring your hands behind your neck. You can now lift your shoulder blades off the mat. Pull your belly in, a little bit more heat. Lower the left leg down. Inhale, lift it up. Lower it down. And then lift it up. Good, one more. Reach it forward and down. Pull your belly in and lift it up. Lower your head, lower your shoulders, rebend your knee. Place your foot on the mat. Bend the right knee. Good, pull the belly in. Okay, stay nice and stable, no wobbling through the pelvis. Reach up through the right leg. Arms alongside body, if that works for you. Good, take a breath in. And then exhale, reach it away from you. Draw that low belly in. Inhale and lift. Exhale, lower. Good, inhale, feel the heat starting to build. Good, lift it up. Good, one more just like that. Good, lift it up. Keep moving just like that, or turn it up a little bit. Bring the hands behind the neck. Lift the shoulder blades away from the mat. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you to straighten out through that left leg if that's your practice. Straighten out through that right leg, reach it down, and then inhale it up. 2 more. Feel a little bit of heat coming into that core. Lift that leg up. Lower the head, lower the shoulders. Rebend your knee. Place it on the mat. Good. Now, arms alongside body once again. This time, bring your arms out to a T. Palms face down. Okay? Step into your feet. Bring your feet about sitting bone distance. Knees or ankles under hips are generally close to that. Step into your feet, pull your belly in, press into your feet and just lift your hips up. And then lower them down. Good, lift them up. And then slowly lower. Good, now if this position with the arms doesn't work for you, you can also bring the arms next to the body. You can take robot arms as well, okay? Whatever works. Press down at the feet, draw the belly in, lift up. Come onto the shoulders ever so slightly and then lower down. Good, inhale and lift. Exhale, lower. Good, one more like that. Inhale and lift. Exhale, lower down. Good, now bring the arms next to the body. Let's bring the arms into it, bridge rolls. Okay, step into those feet. Pull your belly in and press down to lift up. And then as you lift the hips, float the arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, float them down. Good, again, inhale and lift, lift, lift. And then exhale, take your whole exhalation to lower. Good, 2 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, float down. Good, you keep going. 1 more time. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly come all the way back down to the mat. Give your knees a squeeze, Apanasana 1 more time. Find a little rock side to side. Good, let's take an easy, early happy baby. So stack the ankles over the knees. Just take the ankles here to start. If you can take the big toes, do. You don't have to. Just be easy here with this. Just rock a little side to side. And then let that go. Come to squeeze your knees in again one more time. And then we're going to switch positions. You're going to come to lay on your belly. So just switch positions. I'm going to go this way so you can see my head. Just do a little shoulder love here. So you need space on the sides of your mat. Okay, and then just come to lay on your belly with your arms extended out to a T. So we'll start on this right side. So bring your big toes to touch, and then bring your right hand underneath your shoulder. Okay, now make sure if you look at your left shoulder, that your left shoulder, elbow, and wrist are one line. They're not in a diagonal. Okay, and then when you're ready, we're going to roll over now onto that left hip. Bring the side of your head down. If you prefer, you can bring it onto a blanket or a block if that feels better for you. So stacking the hips, stacking the ribs, stacking the shoulders. Obviously getting a stretch on that left shoulder. You can stay right here. You have the option of bending your right foot. You can step it in front of you. You can step it behind you depending on your shoulder. I'm not going to do that on my shoulder because it doesn't like it. And then this right hand can stay right where it is, or you have the option of floating it up, turning the thumb away from you, finding internal rotation, and bringing it behind you. Some folks might be in a place where they want to interlace their fingers behind their back. You might even find yourself rolling all the way almost onto your back, depending on your shoulders and what's available for you. Calm and steady. Just let nature do its thing. Remember why you're here. Good. Coming out the way we came in, lose that half bind first if you took that. So bring that right hand back down. Stack your hips again, straighten out through that top leg, and then come to lay again on your belly. Now stretch the right leg out. Left hand will come underneath the left shoulder, and then you're going to roll over again, this time onto the right hip. I'm going to sit up while you all do that. So it's same steps as before. Make sure that right arm is in alignment. Shoulder, elbow, and wrist are in one line and not sort of at a diagonal. And then decide if you want to step the top leg behind you. Decide if you'd like to take the half bind. Just let your body be your guide. Listen to what you need. One more breath here. And then think about reversing the steps here. Okay, so maybe you need to let go of that half bind first. If you bend the knee, stack the hips once more. And then roll back onto your belly. And then bring the hands under the shoulders and rise up to a tabletop position. If you prefer, if your knees are sensitive, feel free to take a blanket to kneel onto. We'll come to hands and knees for some work here in tabletop position. So starting here with your wrists directly underneath your shoulders and your knees under your hips, all 10 toenails released behind you. Draw your belly in so your low back is supported. And let's move through some intentional extension and flexion of the spine. So as you inhale, let's find extension. Draw your belly in, keep your belly a little bit toned so you're not just dumping it to your low back. But as you inhale, curl the tailbone up. Soften the belly slightly towards the earth and then curl the chest up by pressing your shoulder blades into your back ribs. And then as you exhale, draw the belly in, press all the way out of the lungs, round the spine and come into your flexed spine, your cat tilt. And then inhale, come back into your cow tilt, but maintain that little bit of toning of the belly. Follow your breath. Exhale, round. Inhale, find extension, gaze forward. Good, exhale and round. Good, inhale and find that extension one more. Good, exhale, round over. This time, sitting bones to heels coming through Balasana, child's pose. Arms are extended out in front of you. Belly is drawn in. Maybe the head comes all the way down to the mat. Maybe the arms are extended out in front of you, or if it feels more supportive, you can release the arms next to the body and find a position here like this. Just let the hips start to relax back towards the heels. And then as you're ready, inhale, rise, come back to your tabletop position, please. And tuck your right toes under and slide your right leg to the back of the mat. Flex your toes, press out through the heel, firm muscle to bone in the right knee. And then notice that the right hip is lifted up, because sometimes it wants to do that. So see if you can level the hips. Draw that left hip slightly back. Make sure you're pressing the top of your left foot into the mat as well. Draw your gaze forward, belly in. And then maybe if it's in your practice, float that right leg up. Toes point straight down. Reach out to the heel, draw the chest forward. And then place the foot down, place the knee down. Tuck your left toes under and slide your left leg to the back of the mat. Again, gaze forward, draw the chest forward as the tailbone reaches towards the back of the mat. And then from the top of your left thigh, lift up through that left leg. Belly in, chest forward. And then float it down. Good, left leg again, right leg again, reach back. Okay, so lift the leg up. If it's in your practice, come to spider fingers on the left hand, and then float the left arm forward and reach and extend. Exhale, float the hand down and the knee down. Other side, left leg reaches straight back. Find your alignment, and then when you're ready, float the leg up. If it's in your practice, float the right arm forward, and make sure that your right thumb is pointing up, and then reach and extend. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, right leg, left arm, reach, breathe in. Exhale, release. Good, right arm, left leg, reach and extend. And then release. Good, one more each side. Inhale and reach. And then lower. Inhale and reach. And then lower. Good, sitting bones to heels, child's pose. And then inhale, come forward, tabletop position again. This time turn the fingertips towards you. Spin your wrists away from you. And then see if you can get all 10 of your fingers to really press down. Press into the heel of the hand. Try not to let the shoulders draw forward. Keep the shoulder blades on the back. Good, and then from here, we're just gonna move forward and back. We're gonna move side to side, maybe circles here. Notice where it's hard for you to engage. Notice where there's a lot of sensation. Breathe into it. And then finding stillness very mindfully. Flip the palms back around. Good. Now we're going to come into a child's pose, but with interlace your fingers. Actually, just come to prayer hands. Sit your hips back. And then bend the elbows and bring your hands behind your neck in this prayer position. Getting a stretch here of the shoulders and the hamstrings. So sit your hips back, relax them back like you were in child's pose here. Yeah, and let the shoulders start to, respond. Feel the triceps, which we don't do a lot with in terms of stretching, right? Get a little love here. Maybe the whole torso might be, or the whole shoulder girdle might be opening up here. And then release that, come on up, find your tabletop once more. Okay, now we're gonna move into puppy stretch. So it's like downward facing dog, but without all that work, right? So walk the arms out in front of you. Sit your hips back. Well, actually, you're keeping your hips a little bit higher this time over your knees, but you're melting your chest forward. Palms wrists are in line with your shoulders. Palms are flat. You can soften your arms down if you'd like. You can keep them more active. You can bring your forehead all the way down. If you want to melt your chest more towards a mat, you can do that if it's okay for your shoulders. But as you're here, please keep reaching your sitting bones back. Keep lengthening back. Puppy stretch. Think about how your puppy stretch. Mine do this every morning. They do a nice long puppy stretch. And then inhale and rise up, come to your tabletop position again. So just for a little bit more energy, you can stay in your puppy stretch if you prefer, or from here, tucking the toes, finding a dog stretch, lift the hips, pressing up and back, right? Keeping the hands maybe a little wider than shoulder width distance for this first one, since it's the first dog. Maybe the feet a little wider than hips width distance. Bend your knees deeply, and then sit your hips back. Keep lifting through the low belly. I'm coming out, you guys stay in. Really press into the palms, press into your thumb and forefinger knuckle, and roll your outer upper armpits in towards the center line of the body. Knit your ribs and hips towards midline. Let your head hang heavy and long. Yeah. And then bend your knees. This is the only thing we're going to do on our feet. Start to walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold. We're just coming into a ragdoll. So bend your knees, belly to your thighs. And then let your head go. Take opposite elbows if that works for you. If it's better for you to let your arms hang, but just let them do that, but bring them down to something, right? To a block or to the earth. If it's comfortable for you to find a little sway here, feel free to do that. And then release that. Inhale, find a flat back. So bring your body parallel to the earth. Slight bend to the knees. Allow your sitting bones to come directly over your heels. Draw the chest forward. Maybe the palms are pressing into the shins. Shoulder blades draw back. Breathe in. And then exhale, fold back over the legs. Walk the hands back out. Come back into downward facing dog. And then drop to the knees. And then step your right foot forward between your hands so that your right knee is over your right ankle. And you're not on top of your left kneecap. You're coming into Anjaneyasana. So sit your hips slightly forward. And then scissor your legs together as you rise up and bring your hands to the top of your right thigh. Okay? And now scissor your legs together, meaning draw that front heel back and the back knee forward to provide some support. Okay, lift your pelvic floor and then inhale. We're going to physically press into the feet, lift your hips away from the earth. And then make sure you're neutral here. So the tailbone is pointing straight down versus pointing back, like towards the back of your mat. It should be pointing straight down. Sits bones releasing straight down. And then from here, shoulders and ribs stay directly over your pelvis. Shake the whole shape forward, setting into that left hip flexor slightly. And then inhale to rise up. Do that again, shift forward and down. You might go a little further this time. Ooh, it's getting kind of juicy. Yeah, and then inhale, rise up. I'm making my husband chuckle. And then exhale, last time, sit the hips forward and down. Keep scissoring the legs together. Keep your hands on the top of the thigh or float the arms up. I like to interlace the fingers behind my neck these days, keep my elbows spread wide. And then find a little gentle back bend now as you lift those back ribs, the shoulder blades rather, into your back ribs. Shine the chest forward. Keep the shoulders soft. And then reach up. Release the hands down. If you happen to have blocks, you can bring blocks to frame your right foot. We're going to move into Ardha Hanumanasana now. Ardha Hanumanasana. Draw the hips back as we move into half splits. Straightening out through that right leg. Flexing those right toes. Pull your belly in and then bow down ever so slightly. Chest moving towards your toes. Shoulder blades on the back. And then inhale to rise up. Rebend the knee. Shift forward. Come into Anjaneyasana again. And then bow down once more, come into Ardha Hanuman one more time. So the tendency here is for the right hip to want to lift up here, draw it back, right, and in, right, so that it's not lifting and drawing out to the side. And then melt the chest towards your big toe. Keep breathing. And then as you inhale, rise up, drag that heel back ever so slightly, bend into your knee, and then step back, come back into your tabletop position. And then we're just going to move directly to the other side. So step the left foot forward, find your alignment so that you can sit your right hip forward of your, sit in front of your right knee rather on that right quad. And then rise up, interlace the fingers on top of that left quadricep. And then draw your belly in as you inhale and lift up. Check your alignment, make sure your pelvis is neutral and you're not in an anterior tilt of the pelvis with your butt sticking out, right? That's not going to feel good on your low back. So find that neutral pelvis and then shift forward and down. Some dynamic movement to open up. Take a breath in and float the hips up. Exhale, shift forward and down. And then inhale to lift. Last time, shift forward and down. This is our fullest expression for today. Stay here with hands on top of the thigh or reach the arms up. Maybe this time take opposite elbows if that feels better for you. Or interlace the fingers behind the neck again. But find your back bend here, lifting up, chest bumping the sky, lifting the gaze. And then reach up through the arms. Exhale, hands come down to the earth or blocks. Sit the hips back, Ardha Hanuman. Flex your left toes this time. Belly's lifting, chest moving towards those toes. And then inhale to pull that leg back slightly, rebend into the knee, come forward on Jennean, reach the arms up. And then exhale, float down. Last time, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. And you don't have to be still with it. Feel free to move around with your splits here, right? Explore, see where you feel the most sensation and the most information. And then lift up, drag the heel back ever so slightly, step into your right foot, it's the left one, and then step back, tabletop position. Take a moment to circle the hips, go in any direction that feels good, and then switch directions so you are nice and balanced. And then we're going to lower down onto the belly. So I'm going to sit my knees well behind my hips in a modified plank position, draw my belly in, shoot my chest forward. I'm going to lower all the way down. And then bring your arms alongside your body for back bends. Okay, reach your feet to the back of the mat. I say lift each one up and stretch it back. So you really feel like your pelvis is anchored. And then palms face down. Anchor the pelvis, tops of the feet press down to fire up the legs, and then inhale, shoot the chest forward and up for locust pose. And then maybe float the arms up if it's in your practice. And then reach the fingertips to the back of the mat. And then if it's in your practice, float the legs up, spread your toes. You guys stay in, I'm coming out so I can talk to you. So roll your inner thighs up towards the sky. Spread those toes. Keep breathing. And now exhale, lower down. Turn one cheek to the mat. And we take half frog pose. I like to call it snuggle pose because that's what my friend Janice Ingson calls it. But I'm just going to bend my right knee out to the side and just rest my forehead onto my stacked hands and just rest here. And then come back into a neutral position, please. And let's do another variation of a back bend. So chin or forehead to the mat. This time arms reach behind you. You can hook your thumbs or interlace your fingers. Same business with the legs. So tops of the feet press down, spread the toes, tops of the feet, energizing to energize the legs. And then when you're ready, anchoring the pelvis, draw your belly in and then lift your chest forward and up. And lift the heads of your shoulders up away from the earth. Whole time lengthening the chest forward, tailbone reaching towards your heels, Maybe you float the feet up if you'd like and spread your toes. Keep breathing. Keep noticing for 3, for 2, and then let it go on 1. Just turn your head to the other side and take that position, half frog pose or snuggle pose on the other side. Feel your heart beating out. Feel the breath moving. Nicely done. Okay. So from here, just turn over onto your back, please. Just flip like a pancake onto your back. And if you have a block or something handy, you can take a block or, a book or something that's firm, but not too hard. Underneath lift your hips and slide that block underneath the sacrum. Okay, we're going to open the front of the hips up a little bit. So let's just start by hooking your left foot behind your right ankle. And then let your left knee just fall open to the side. Just let it soften. Just let it go. Yep, powerful. Opening for the hip flexor. If you want a little bit more, you can reach underneath of you with your right hand, take the top of your left foot and let it, it's a little bit deeper, let it just open out to the side. Take a moment here to surrender. You don't have to do anything, it's just passive. You might notice you're resisting it because it's a lot of information right here. And then we're going to let that go. Step your left foot back onto the mat. And then hook your right foot behind your left ankle. Flex your right foot as you let your right knee open out to the side and let it soften and get heavy. Just bring the arms next to the body. Maybe close the eyes, start to go inside. And then bring your hand to your right leg and support that a little bit as you lift it up, right? Because we were just stretching that very powerfully. Okay, so now another variation. This time, hug your left knee in towards your chest. Give it a squeeze. And then you have the option of now straightening out through that right leg. Just let the back of the heel come down. This is passive as well. Let it get heavy. Just find your breath. Send breath to sensation. Allow yourself to surrender and get soft. There's no muscular effort here. And then release your left foot down to the mat. Rebend your right knee. And then when you're ready, right knee will hug in. And then left leg will extend. Heel comes down. Let it get nice and heavy. Surrender to gravity now. And then rebend your left knee. Place your right foot on the ground. And then decide if it's a good idea for you to press both of your heels forward, straightening out through both legs. Let your arms just release alongside body. This might not be good for your sacrum, so if it's not, feel free to, you can bend one knee at a time. You don't have to do it at all. So you decide what's good for you, but it's really bringing the whole front body into extension. And I don't know about you, but I find myself in flexion a lot these days with all the sitting we're doing. Okay, keep a little toning to the belly to protect the low back. And then one at a time, rebend your knees, place your feet on the mat, arms alongside body, just float your legs straight up for a restorative inversion, shoulder stand. Keep your gaze straight up, never turn your head right or left when you're in any kind of position with your neck down, like back bends, like bridge pose, or of course in shoulder stand. Option if it's not comfortable for you to have the legs up in this way, especially if your legs are slightly in front of your hips, just bend your knees and let your feet dangle. You can also reach up through the arms and let the wrists go for that bug. Close the eyes. You guys stay in, I'm coming out. And then when you feel complete, start to bring the feet down to the earth. When you're ready, lift your hips, slide that block away from your sacrum. Bring your body back to the earth. When you're ready, roll to your right side and press yourself up into a seated position. A couple of seated postures before we wrap up. Okay, so from here, let's extend the legs straight out. Okay, feel free to sit up onto a block, or I like to lift my hips up into a blanket for a little bit of elevation. Just the sitting bones, not the whole tuchus, just the sitting bones, right? And then make sure that you feel grounded against the earth. Okay, let's take a variation of Janu Shirshasana. So for this variation, we're going to keep the left leg straight, bend the right knee, and step the right foot all the way over. So you're stacking your knees. Can you see this? Maybe I should turn this way. I don't know if you all can see me better this way or not. Like so. So we're getting a little love for the hip as well as a little love for the hamstring. Okay? Can you see me? Okay, so press into the sitting bones, right? We always do that. We want to be grounded. Draw the belly in. Okay? You can stay right here. If it's in your practice, you could fold forward ever so slightly. Right? But you're hinging at the hips. You're not rounding the spine. Right? And there's a little bind happening here, so you're squeezing your knees together a little bit here. Good. And then let your chest soften towards the toes. Let your shoulders soften. Breathe here. Yeah. This is so good for us. It's so important. Just even being in the space of holding space for you all, I can feel how it's calming my nervous system, so I certainly hope it's helpful for you all. Draw your belly in, inhale and rise. Switch sides. So the right leg will straighten, left knee will bend. Cross at the knees, and think of like Gomukhasana, cow's face. So, for some of us, the top of your foot might come all the way to the mat, and your toes might be pointing more towards the back of your hip, right? But squeeze your knees and thighs together. Mine's not doing that. It's okay. And then as you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold forward. No need to reach up with the toes. No need to feel competitive. Just notice where your body wants to go this evening. Notice what it needs. Keep thinking about pressing down to lift up. And then there'll be a little bit more space as you stay here. Draw your belly in, walk the hands back, rise up. Straighten out through both legs. Maybe give them a little shake. Good. Bring the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Then sitting onto the sitting bones. Little anterior tilt here to the pelvis. So you tip forward ever so slightly, but keep your sitting bones grounded. Okay, and then either stay upright. If your knees are quite high, you might be better off sitting on a block, and then that might be all you need. Okay, if you choose to fold forward, then think about chest moving beyond the toes. Keep the shoulders soft. Right, keep the sitting bones grounded. You can do a little self-massage here on the inner thighs. Rise back up. Hands to the outer thighs, draw the knees together. One last seated thing. Bend your, I'll mirror you this time. I haven't been mirroring the whole class, but I will mirror now. Bend your left knee. Option to cross that left foot over the right leg. And then bringing maybe the right hand comes to the knee, or you can wrap it around the knee. And then lift up through that left arm, reach up. Exhale, swim it behind you. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, start to twist. As you inhale, stretch your sternum up towards the sky, and then as you exhale, find a little bit more rotation. So the trick here with these twists is to maintain the length of the spine. Sometimes we find ourselves kind of curling in here. Lengthen the spine. From that lengthened place, find your twist. And then as you exhale, let's find a counter twist. So come around the body and then release. Bring your hands down to the opposite side and bow down. Inhale, rise up. We're going to switch sides. Straighten out now through that left leg. Bend the right knee. Cross that right knee over the left. And then decide the best position for the arm. Reach up now through that right arm. And then exhale, swim it behind you. Take that nice long spine, press into the sitting bones. Lift up through the chest. And then exhale, begin your rotation. And then just keep working with it. Inhale and find a little bit more length. Draw the belly in. And then exhale, squeeze and twist. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. And then as you exhale, release the twist. Find your counter. Come over to the left side and bow down. Inhale and rise, come on back up. Good, straighten out through both legs. And then make your way onto your back, please. I'm not gonna lay down with you. But you all make your way onto your back, preparing for Shavasana. But before we go there, take one more nice long stretch. Reach the arms up, reach the toes forward. And then when you're ready, no rush, exhale, Apanasana. And then Happy Baby Ananda Balasana. So again, taking the hands to the ankles, behind the thighs, to the big toes or little toe edges of the feet, and then rock around like happy babies do. Bend and straighten one knee and then the other. Work into any of those sticky places that you still feel. And then when you feel ready, start to make your way down into Shavasana. If you have a blanket or blocks, consider rolling up your blanket or placing your blocks behind your knees or behind your calves so you have some elevation to your legs. That might make your low back feel happier. And then come to lay on your back and be still. Take your time to make any final adjustments. Put a sweater on or socks if you feel cold. And then begin to settle into stillness. Take a deep, full breath in. Breathe all the way from the soles of the feet up the length of the body, all the way to the crown of the head, and then part the lips, exhale. And then surrender to gravity. No need for any further muscular effort. Part your molars, let your tongue float in your mouth. If it feels correct for you, rock your head from side to side and find the sweet spot where you can be still. And drop down into your own experience and be a witness. to deepen your breathing. Start to think about coming into a more wakeful state. I'm going to read your quote from Rumi. Sorrow prepares you for joy. It violently sweeps everything out of your house so that new joy can find space to enter. It shakes the yellow leaves from the bough of your heart so that fresh green leaves can grow in their place. It pulls up rotten roots so that new roots hidden beneath have room to grow. Whatever sorrow shakes from your heart, far better things will take their place. Take your time as you start to reawaken your body, but staying in that calm, quiet space in your mind that you cultivated. When you're ready, roll to your favorite side. Press yourself into a seat. Let's close our practice together. Bring the hands to heart center. Close the eyes. Drop the light of awareness inside to notice the effects of your practice. We dedicate the merits of our practice to all beings everywhere, that they may live in peace, be free from suffering and the causes of suffering, and experience love, light, joy, freedom, safety, and good health. This is the path of the yogi. Namaste, everyone. Thanks for joining me.